Astro Boy here, and today we're going to be breaking down episode 8 of Vinland Saga. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Filler for sure. Still better than Ninja vs. Goku though, but it's still filler. If there's one thing about Astro Boy, he hates filler. I hate filler.
What's an anime without filler?
I get it. I have high standards, okay? We get a good bit of information from this, and I feel like within the next 2 or 3 episodes, we'll pick up the pace for sure. With all that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and close out the opening, and I'm going to see you guys on the other side. Apparently, this group of Vikings has a place to live. They're not just wandering buffoons. They have wives, children, and families that they come home to. I was like, okay, so we're going home. Okay, they're ready to rest from all the raiding. It's winter time, so they really don't have much to do, according to the king of the Vikings or whatever. Wintertime is not a time to be doing anything really, so we're just hibernating. So they're at home, Askeladd's flexing his gold to the ladies. He's like, I got all this stuff from the raids. Like, he's the man. All the ladies are like, oh my gosh. They're thirsting over him. He's got money. He's powerful. He's everything to these girls. We're just going to call him Unc right now. So he's talking to Unc about, like, feeding his soldiers and how much it's going to cost. And, to live here, you got 98 soldiers. You got to feed them. You got to pay me this. So he pays him, easily done. It's no big deal, he's like, man, just pay it. It's all about money here. So take care of my men, feed them, house them, all that jazz, whatever. Just business talk. So then they have this slave girl who's a cupbearer, a Horda. And, I think there's something more to her. Okay, there's something way more to her because, you got a highborn slave girl from Norway and you're just treating her like a cupbearer. I don't know. There's more to that. I can already tell that I'm like one of the main characters or one of the like key characters for sure. So after they talk business, Thorfinn has been just waiting. He's like, dude, when am I gonna get my duel? Like, I'm just like, I'm ready. So what's up? So Askeladd's like, all right, fine. Let's go ahead and get this duel over with, So they start the duel, and Thorfinn, he's got more battle experience. He's more, accustomed. He's got a little bit of seasoning on him. He's a little calloused, but he's still a kid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Askeladd's been in so many battles. It's probably like before Thorfinn was even born. You feel me? So Askeladd resorts to mental tactics. Nothing about strength. Like, he's not overpowering him. He's just like, wait, who was your dad again? Tos. He's like making him mad, deliberately pissing him off on purpose so that he can get in a blind rage. And it works because Thorfinn just gets in a blind rage and is, not focused on the task and is just swinging. And guess what? You get hip thrown and you get a dislocated shoulder from it. And you pass out. So there's that. Thorfinn is like 0 for 3. And it's probably going to keep going for a long time. And bless his heart, but he's just not there yet. He's still a kid. He may, I've killed so many people. He ain't killing Askeladd. I promise you that. That ain't going to happen. So then after the battle, there's a feast. They got all their, stuff, their food, they're gorging, they're drinking, dancing, eating, and bless Thorfinn's heart, he's like, I'm just gonna chill out here on the boat because it's my dad's boat and I'm just gonna hang out here. And then he has a like dream / vision of his dad, and his dad's like, it's okay, real warriors don't need swords, remember that. It's a heartfelt moment, but then he gets woken up by Horda bringing him food, and he almost kills her because he's like, what are you doing? Oh. But I feel like these two characters are going to get closer because they're very much alike in a sense. They're outsiders. Like, they're not part of the village. She's a slave. He's just here for revenge. Like, he's a warrior, but, he's not part of this team. Like, he just wants to kill Askeladd, and that's it. He'd be going about his way. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of chemistry between these two characters, even though Thorfinn is kind of like, he's just trying to be like mean, whatever. But it's okay. He's a young kid. From that vision, it just shows that Thorfinn still has that little boy in him. He's still there, and even though you're a killing machine, you still gonna cry, you still gonna think about your dad, you're still gonna have sentimental value of like for the knives that you carry and stuff like that. And yeah, so it was touching. So then we cut to Floki talking to the Viking King again, and he's talking about how the king's son needs to be like established in the battlefield. I mean, he kind of looks like he got some smoke, but he's probably not experienced, probably just really young, probably like Thorfinn's age. So I'm guessing that this guy, the king's son, and Thorfinn are going to kind of be going at it, because they're setting up key players here. I mean, I can already tell. The king is probably irrelevant. That's why he's like in the shadows, shady figure. And you got his son who's going to take over the throne. And then you got Horda, who is the slave of this village. And then at the end, there's this one Viking that we saw in episode 1 who was on Team Thors. And he was pretty much like whooping ass just like he was. And it seems like he has like the Goku syndrome where he just loves to fight. So I'm interested to see how this pans out. So they got a lot of key players they're putting in. So it's like I wouldn't say it's filler. It's more like chess. They're playing chess with the setups here. So not a bad episode. It was just, it's filler. And I don't care if it's good filler or not. Still filler. Don't care. But yeah, so it was a good setup. And, unfortunately, Thorfinn is not going to win a duel anytime soon. So that was episode 8. Like I said, it was decent. Nothing negative to say. But, be sure to hit that like button for me, guys. Thank you for watching the video all the way into the end. I appreciate it, because I'm looking at my stats, and, throwing the like on there helps the channel out a lot. Even if you're just watching it just in passing, I appreciate the like. I definitely appreciate the likes. And, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate that too. But, yeah, be sure to hit that notification bell so when I upload things, you'll get notified, immediately. And with all that being said, guys, we're going to bring this episode breakdown to a close. And I'll see y'all tomorrow for the episode 9 breakdown of Vinland Saga.